Another injury-filled week, which means we got plenty to talk about here for the waiver wires heading into week 4. Before we get into it though, if you're looking to get into those fantasy daily games, get on to FanDuel, sign up FST2014 for the promo code, get yourself a little sign-up bonus. They're actually a lot of fun. I'm hooked on them. Everyone here at FST is hooked on them. I do about 10 or 15 a week. But let's get into the must-adds in all leagues. Well, first of all, I just want to give one little quick moment of silence for Danny Woodhead. Sorry, buddy. I was rooting for you this year. I was one of the only ones. But let's talk about the must-adds in all leagues. Running backs, Bishop Sankey. I've been talking about him a lot. Still only owned in about 60% of leagues. He's going to be the man for them eventually. They're saying the reason he's not on the field right now is because of footwork. They can work that out in practice. A couple more weeks of practice, and I think he's going to be much more involved in that offense, and it's only going to grow as the year goes on. Get him on your bench before it's too late. Lorenzo Taliaferro is a guy that you got to pick up at this point. Bernard Pierce can't stay healthy. Justin Forsett, I see as more of a change of pace guy. And Taliaferro's looked good week 3. And this is a rookie with some talent. You're going to want to take a look at this guy. I think he's a must-add in all leagues. Same with Matt Asiata. I know McKinnon's kind of the guy that everyone's hoping is going to be the guy. But they trust Asiata out there. He hasn't looked amazing, but he's shown flashes. I mean, he's not going to be, an RB2 for you, but he's going to be an RB3, a decent flex play for you each week, get you through some bye weeks. He needs to be owned in more leagues. He's a starting running back in the NFL. Alfred Blue, I wanted to talk about. I talked about him last week, told all you Arian Foster owners, pick this guy up, put him on your bench. I hope you listened, but I doubt you did because only owned about 30% of leagues. So at this point, you need to pick this guy up because Arian Foster is just not going to be healthy every week. He's going to have his question mark status almost every week probably. He's just getting overworked. You got to handcuff him if you own him. Some running backs to take a look at in deeper leagues. Anton Smith for Atlanta. I've been obviously high on Devontae Freeman, but he hasn't looked that great. And Smith might be the guy that actually would take over the bulk of the carries if and when Steven Jackson goes down. So now it just makes that situation even messier. So, you need to take a look at him. He had a decent week 3, only on 5% of leagues. Keep an eye on the reports, see what they're saying, but Freeman has not looked good so far. Another person I want to talk about is Brandon Oliver for San Diego. Donald Brown isn't that good of a running back. I know everyone's picked him up, everyone's excited about him, and you need to pick him up because he's going to get a ton of touches. He had 31 carries this week for 60-some yards. I don't think I've ever seen anyone get that many carries for that few yards. He's not a great running back. So I'm not necessarily saying that Brandon Oliver is better than him. I'm just saying I'm not that excited about Brown. There's a chance they could look for someone else if he continues to only average 2 yards a carry. So he's someone you're going to want to take a look at, maybe add in deeper leagues. Take a look at some receivers. Brian Quick, only owned in 40% of leagues at this point. He just continues to have solid game after solid game. I know he plays for the Rams, but they're looking to him early and often, and he's a good receiver. He needs to be owned in more leagues. Jordan Matthews, I'm kind of sad about him. I drafted him a couple leagues, dropped him before week 3. Kind of regretting that at this point. He's a guy that's right on the cusp of must-add in all leagues, must-add in deeper leagues, because I think he's going to be up and down all year, but he is talented. Obviously, he got involved week 3, looked good, couple of touchdowns for him. Marvin Jones, I've been talking about him for a couple weeks now. Reports are coming out saying he's going to be ready after the bye week. So, here's a guy that was on a lot of people's sleeper list that you can just pick up, hold on to him for 1 week, and you got him. So, you're going to want to pick him up if you need any help at receiver. One must-add in all leagues for quarterback, Kirk Cousins. He looked good. He fits that offense. You got to pick him up. I think there's a chance, he's going to be their starter for the rest of the year. I think there's a decent chance he's a top 15 quarterback for the rest of the year. So, he's someone that you're going to want to add in all leagues. A couple of quarterbacks to keep an eye on. Teddy Bridgewater, Blake Bortles. Obviously, these are the, 2 of the big name rookies that are getting a shot right now. So we'll see. Pay attention to the reports. Make sure they're going to get a chance. To start. Looks like Bridgewater's going to get a chance. We'll see what they do with Bortles. Any type of 2-quarterback league, you're going to want to take a look at these guys. 14 teams or more, you're going to want to take a look at these guys as QB2s. So keep an eye on those. A couple of big injuries at tight end with Petta and Kyle Rudolph, so you might be looking for a tight end. Niles Paul is a guy that I think should definitely be picked up in all leagues at this point. There's a chance he's better than Jordan Reed. And there's almost definitely he's going to be more healthy than Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed just cannot stay out on the field. Niles Paul has looked great. Kirk Cousins has looked his way early and often. I like this guy. He needs to be owned in all leagues. Jared Cook's another guy, only on 20% of leagues. He's had a pretty good year, all things considered, and to be only on 20% of leagues, I think he should have a little bit more respect than that. And then also, Travis Kelce for KC keeps being consistently involved in that offense. Hasn't been great, but has been good. So if you just lost Pitta or Rudolph and you're looking for a fill-in, he's definitely worth taking a look at. 2 pick up and play defenses for you. I got Washington going up against the Giants. The Giants look better week 3, but you can still almost guarantee there's going to be a couple turnovers in any Giants game. And then I have a new strategy for pick up and play defenses, and that's think about picking up whoever's playing Tampa Bay. Because Tampa Bay looks awful, and they are going to be playing Pittsburgh this week. So you can't hate on that too much. I like Pittsburgh as a pick up and play defense. Now this is just a portion of the list. If you want to see the full list, get on the website, get in the forums if you've got any questions. Hopefully y'all are 3-0. I got one team that's 3-0, but not doing too bad. I'm Dustin. We'll see you later in the week.